How's life? How's things? What's been going
really
on?
Good. Not much has been going on, to be fair.
I mean, come on.
Well, yeah. I'm pregnant. That's going on. But
Congratulations.
thank you.
The post was the cutest thing I've ever seen.
Thanks.
Was that your idea, your planning?
No, do you know what? My plan from the beginning was to not at all post anything. Just keep it.
Oh, was it? So not say anything? Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't going to say anything at all. And then as time went on, I was kind of more thinking, oh, should I just announce it? Because especially for work, it was like restricting me for work because there's things I couldn't take because no one knew I was pregnant.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And even sometimes like shoot days, it's like, it got to a point where it's like, you can't really like go to this and be pregnant.
I guess if you haven't announced it, and it's obviously long days, isn't it, with the shoots and stuff like that as well.
And then and then I was having to turn work down. So then it was like, well, actually, if I maybe announced, more like different type of work might come through. And I was like, and then I was getting comments like, my friend's sister's brother knows her and she's pregnant. And I was like, how does that word actually get around?
Who's leaking this?
Yeah, but then also I was getting comments from like 10-year-olds.
Right.
And I told my nieces and nephews. So I think they may have been telling people at school.
Oh.
And then people at school were like commenting on my Instagram, but they were like commenting back to people being like, trust me, she's pregnant.
So it was coming from inside the house.
It was coming from inside. It was coming coming from my circle.
Leaks from your circle is crazy.
And like, Danny was literally asking me if he could tell people, and I was like, no, because I don't know his girlfriend. Because I thought that's how it would come out. Maybe someone kind of told their girlfriend I didn't know her, and then she told her.
And it was 10-year-olds.
It was my own blood leaking it.
That is absolutely crazy. Have you had words?
Yeah, well, I told my niece the first time, and I said to her, you can't tell anyone. She was the one I trusted the most.
Okay.
Because she just like gets it. So I was like, you can't tell anyone. She was like, yeah, no, I'm not going to tell anyone. Then my sister picked her up like the next day from her friend's house. My sister gets to the door and her friend go, just tell her, to my sister, to the mum. And my sister's like, tell her what? And she's like, tell her about Tenny. And my sister's like, you're not allowed to tell anyone. She's like, oh, I told. And she told her best friend.
Oh, no.
My sister's like, well, she's told her best friend already. Now the best friend's mum knows. But the best friend's got 2 older brothers. So I'm
surprised it's not been in the sun, to be fair.
Yeah, I don't think anyone cared that much. Or like,
we all cared.
Reliable is a 10-year-old going to the sun.
But they could make money. So if you're watching this and you're 10 years old, sell the stories.
Yeah,
like,
you could have made money.
Why are you going to dish your friends and family and your bloodline if you're not going to get paid for it, you fucking idiot? No.
Such a tiny iPad.
Isn't it tiny? Have you got a bigger one than this?
Yeah, mine's massive.
Yeah, I do love a bigger iPad.
But it's that colour as well. Like, I would generally just use that as a phone, but you can't have a SIM on iPads.
Yeah, I would also be concerned if you're walking around like, hello, would you answer the Chinese calls like that?
When I auditioned for Big Brother, they couldn't contact me for ages because I lost my phone in Gay Village in Manchester. So I just walked around without a phone for like months. And I got an email like, we've been trying to contact you for ages. And I was like, so I nipped round my sisters to give them a call.
Oh, I love you.
I need to get a phone now. I got a phone.
Have you always been so high energy?
Yeah.
Could you give the audience at home one of your iconic screams?
It started in the hotel room. Like, the producer was like, you need to keep it down, being the chaperone. I just kept doing it because I was just so nervous. And then they were like, yeah, can you quiet down a bit? Because I have Beyonce Homecoming on Netflix. Because you could only like watch Netflix locked in on iPad.
Right.
So I just had Beyonce loud blast in the hotel room.
You are both so for the gays, aren't you?
Yeah.
Like, genuinely, I couldn't be happier right now.
She's so queer-coded, yet so straight.
I know.
I've never been told that, but because, like, yeah.
Have you got like any gay mates? Are you like a kind of no? Sorry, I meant gay men.
Yeah, sorry, I'm thinking before the house.
Yeah,
but like now I have so many.
I was gonna say, do you know what I can see? A pride tour for you both, like next year.
Get on a float.
That needs to happen. Like, you know, when the cars like tow the floats.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain this.
Thing,
like a truck
down a road.
Like an open top bus kinda. Yeah. I can see that happening.
With a flag.
Which family member would I haunt if I was a ghost?
Mum.
You.
He's definitely Joe.
I'm just telling you, it'd be you.
And what would you do?
Anything and everything. Knock shit over. shit on the doorstep and you wouldn't know who it is.
Do you know what? Probably messing my schedule because you do that now and it still haunts me now.
I'd just like double book you for things all the time. Turn off the alarm clock so you think you're waking up at 7, it's actually 9:30.
No, don't, because it'd be those small things that would honestly drive him insane.
It would. I'd jump into the well in our garden.
You would just wake up with a bald patch somewhere.
It's already happening.
I know.
Needs to be ordered for that.
Yeah. Sorry. Next one. What would my parents say is my worst personality trait? What mum and dad say?
I'd say probably your farts.
That's not a personality trait.
To be fair, probably at this point it is.
We hear every day. Personality trait. What even is that?
Is it like something that
It's something that like you do often.
all the time?
Yeah.
It's like part of you. Yeah, probably farting, to be fair. That'd be
Farting,
fine. What would
burping.
you say, Lolly? Look, she's thinking, what one can I say?
Is there a lot?
George is quite bossy.
Oh, it runs in the family. Trust and believe.
Bossy.
It runs
I'm
in the
not
family.
bossy.
You're Diva Boss Boots.
I am Diva Boss Boots, right? She we would have been so late today. I'm like, you have to wake up. She's like,
just a girl.
She's like, I hate early mornings.
Yeah,
I hate early
George,
mornings.
guess who booked the start time of the pod? You.
I'm not. I was
Why are
moaning
you
about the
beef-
time.
why are you beefing
I'm not
Lolly?
moaning about the time. She was moaning about the time. I'm fine being here early.
Leave Lolly alone.
She's just a girl.
You, George.
This is not.
This is about you. Nad me.
I want to call you Miss Diva, but it's Destiny, isn't it? Your government name is
I like Miss
Destiny.
Diva.
Okay, I'm going to call you.
I like that one.
Okay, Miss Diva, how did you start your journey?
Like they asked everyone to do video and everyone was saying no, and I was the only one who said yeah as a joke.
Okay.
And then it got 1 million views, and then they come back to me and they was like, you can't not do another one
Yeah.
when you've got 1 million views. And then I did another one, and then it got like 25 million views. I was like, I guess this is my new life.
That is crazy, though. And I love the comments. Like, do you read the comments of what people say? Or you
Stop reading.
You stop reading
They
them?
also have got lazy eye.
We would
Every
like to
time I
confirm-
go live, there's people like, oh, I've got a lazy eye too. I'm like,
You don't even have a lazy eye. We're here to put the rumours to bed.
You got
Thank
good
you.
eyes.
And how long have you worked for the chip shop for?
since I was 16.
Since you were 16?
Yeah.
So it's been a long time coming.
It's been a long,
long time coming for you to break
I've
it
been
in the
waiting
chip
for
shop.
this.
I'm obsessed. And Danny,
Yeah.
when did you start?
I started in March. Oh my goodness, no, it's last year now.
March last year?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so soon.
mental. So I had this boyfriend and I was like, let me get over him. So I started seeing this new guy and he gave me the worst shag of my fucking life. Took his mate on our first date together, talked about shagging his fucking mate. Then I was like seeing him
Girl
on and
mate?
off.
Boy mate?
Boy mate.
He was joking about shagging his boy
shagging
mate.
his boy mate. I was across the table from him on a fucking shitty Wagamama's. And he was like, yeah, sex was good last night. And I was like, why am I here? I was like, why am I actually? But he was like 6'4", so I gave him the benefit of the doubt.
Okay, fine.
And then
It's hard to find a tall king in Essex. It's hard to find a tall king in Essex. I can attest to that.
He was, and he pulled up in a fucking like brand new Mercedes.
Yeah.
Like the pulsating, but you're so weird. Shagged him, smallest dick of my life. And I'm allowed to say that because we went to a couple's fancy dress party. He tried to fuck my friend in front of my fucking face. And I thought, fuck this. I was like, what can I do? I have to ruin your life online. So I was like, small dick, ugly, daddy's money, stupid fuck. And people was like, oh, like she's got a point.
So that's how it started?
Yeah, and then obviously I had this like 4-year toxic relationship with this guy. So I just kind of like subbed him back in when people got bored of
Right.
like small dick guy.
Okay.
And then
Fine.
we went on like holiday together and I found out he was like violently cheated on me. So like that really like
So would you say like men are your muse for your
they
TikTok?
are like the worst thing that's ever happened to life, but they are so my muse. Like, I don't get how they can be so fucking mental. Like, my ex would like violently cheat on me in front of my face and be like, I've got ADHD, like I can't focus on one thing at once.
Oh, wow.
And I was like,
right.
That's not a typical byproduct of ADHD. Just let everyone at home know. Just so everyone's aware. So
That story sounds better than mine. I just cut my one out.
I think they're both amazing in their own right. Let's fast forward to you going in and you getting voted for every single trial. Why do you think that happened?
I think it happened because people are vicious, people are unkind, and people want to see celebrities suffer.
Yeah.
At the time, obviously, I have no idea what is going on the
Yeah.
outside. We don't know what's making the show. So much happens in the jungle and also not much happens in the jungle.
Right.
It's weird there's all these pockets of conversations going on. And but when it was my turn to get picked, there'd already been 2 trials. So Barry and Danny did the trial on night 1, then Grace did her trial, and then I got picked. And any of my comp mates will tell you, I was so confused as to why I would get picked because we'd already been in the jungle for 4 days. And as far as I was concerned, we were just getting on with camp life.
Yeah.
We were just sat talking about what our favourite sandwich film was. Colleen Rooney's telling us about Wagatha Christie. It was just all a
The
bit...
best clip ever that was.
It was all a bit like, you know, dare I say, a bit boring.
Yeah.
So I thought to myself, why would anybody want to vote me for a trial when Danny Jones is right there, when Colleen's right there, when Odie's right there, like these big personalities?
I think it's reactions, isn't it? I
Is
think
it though?
people-
Because I don't know what my reactions are because I can't see what's going on the TV.
I guess so, yeah.
So it's
so
hard.
you're confused, but us at home, we're like, oh, he's going to react so well. Well, not well, but you know.
Well,
it's gonna be
when I
funny.
watched it back, I was like, a lot of things made sense.
Yeah.
A lot of things. Because I saw
I was going to say, so have you watched all of it back?
not all of it.
Not all of it.
I fast forwarded some.
Yeah.
You know, trauma is a thing, and I don't need to
Don't relive it again.
I don't need to relive those trials again.
Yeah.
No, but I have watched it back, and look, it was really interesting for me to watch it back, in parts because genuinely I was a bit like, why are there so many memes? Why are people so obsessed with Houdini? Like,
really
I don't
funny.
get it because in my head it was just short, funny, quick moments,
Yeah.
and I didn't realize the screaming was so much. Like all the screams, like I didn't.
Yeah.
My mum had said to me before you go in, don't swear. Like no swearing. And I was like, right, okay. So it was either swearing or screaming. And you got the scream.
Yeah. A lot of people in the first couple of days on these shows, typically like energy wise, just kind of like wind down a little bit. And you just entered here.
She
I
came
wouldn't
in
even
and
say you
screamed
stayed
at my-
there. You went like there. It was
I
hilarious.
wanted to come across dead cool. Like I wanted to do a Maya Jama Love Island entrance, like coming out the car, like we were practicing it in the hotel room. Like I was gonna do like a slow-mo, like whip my hair, like really cool. And then I literally came out. I was like, oh my god! And I didn't even think like I would be living in a house with people. Like I thought I'd be like living in a house on my own. Like I just was thinking about
Big
me the whole
Brother.
time. I know. I just didn't think about the other people in the house.
Yeah, it was a lot. Your exit was also we watched it, and that, I mean, obviously it's
I was
overwhelming
so
for anyone, but
nervous.
both of you, like when you left the house, it was honestly like, oh my god, because everyone is so feral in that crowd as well. Were you both like super overwhelmed
I
with
haven't seen your exit yet, and she wouldn't let me watch it yesterday. So
Lily? Is it's just
Like, because when you're isolated from so many people and then you sat on that couch for 3 hours and they put like screaming through the audio, loud blast.
oh, do they?
Yeah, so you're stuck on a couch with like audio, like screaming.
Yeah.
And you're waiting, you're like, oh, when's it going to happen? When's it going to happen? And you can't move off the couch. And then when I heard my name, I was like, oh my God. And then I got so scared, but then I stopped and then I tried to do a bit of a stroke, then got really scared again.
It was, but it was super. I couldn't do that. I was actually saying to Kane when we were watching it, I thought the thought of just being around the same people for that amount of time, literally leaving, and it's so overwhelming. Like, yeah, I would have had a breakdown. So you're both better than I would have been.
my nerves subsided because I was so desperate to get out. I was about, I don't know if you saw the size of the platforms I had on. I was about to boot the door down and go out. Couldn't wait. I was so excited to
Yeah.
go home that I didn't care where I came or where I landed or whatever.
Yeah.
But then I got nervous when they announced I was the winner. And I think I crouched on the floor, and I don't think they aired it, but Big Brother was giving me a proper pep talk. Like,
Oh, okay.
Ali, you've got to, strike a pose when you get out.
Okay.
Make sure you engage with the crowd. And I was like, okay, like a little processing robot, being like, I'm going to do all these things. And then I got out
Yeah.
and saw all these posters, and I was just like,
Yeah, it was such a lovely response from everyone
couldn't
for you. There is an elephant in the room that I want to address, and it's basically where I knew you were pregnant before the entire world, even before Ten's family. Do you want to tell everyone about this moment?
We were filming for Dad v Girls YouTube, and I was being very specific on what I wanted to eat from Nando's. I was being, you literally called me Nando's diva, and I was being a Nando's diva. Now I look back, I'm like, anyone that didn't know I was pregnant must have been thinking, is she okay? Like,
Yeah.
she chilled out, we're all getting our lunch. Like, why does she?
You were stressed about the Nando's.
And then you just made a comment, you were like, oh, you must be pregnant. Or because I said as well how I had a hot dog for breakfast.
Yeah, and I just went out loud like, oh, you must be pregnant. And I didn't feel the seizing up, but I can imagine you and Danny were like, the whole
I
time.
just was like,
And then as soon as 10 announced, she DM'd me and was like, you knew before everyone else. I think it's just that gay man's intuition, you know?
Because I was thinking, I feel like, because Casey knew.
Oh, did she?
And her face went like that. So then I feel like, did you
feel like
picked
she...
up on the faces?
Oh.
Because when she made a face, I remember thinking, don't make a face.
No, babe, when I've got a pheno pitter in front of me, I'm not picking up on anything but that halloumi, you know what I mean? So you were fine.
Lunch should just
I didn't think about it after that, but since you've told me, it's made me giggle, because I guess then you were thinking, well, has Casey told him? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, or I just thought, wow, you've got a good sick sense.
Maybe I do. Maybe that's my calling. Maybe I'm psychic. We're yet to find out. Oh, I'm sorry about the language in this one. My two mummies. You've had a lot worse from me. My nan walked in on me giving my boyfriend a blowjob when I was cat sitting for her. Normally, we can hear her coming up the stairs. Don't know what that means. She hasn't looked at me since. What can I do to repair the relationship?
I mean, that's this has actually happened to a friend of mine. She walked in on her son.
A friend? Friend?
You know the friend I'm talking about. I can't say.
We can bleep it.
You know.
Who?
You know. I told you this story. She went upstairs
What?
and you know that. No.
Oh.
No. She actually.
Oh.
Oh, don't say it.
Like, give us a clue.
Who is it? She walked in and he's like this, and the quilt's going up and down, and then he just sort of pushed her head down. She went, "Oh, okay, I'll just come back in a minute." And they didn't speak about it at all.
Well, I do have.
If I ever walked in with you or Danny or
something
George,
did happen. Emma here as witness to hear me say this, to see your reaction. But there was a moment when we grew up where George ran out of your bedroom screaming because Dad was giving you belly kisses.
No, Joe, you walked in on me and Dad. And you stood.
But I was young,
and then you went into the barbers and you told the whole barber shop. You came in.
I've always been a loud shit.
And then you were saying, you were mimicking the noises that were.
Do you remember that?
A little bit like Forrest Gump did.
What do you mean by that?
Have you ever seen Forrest Gump?
Rain Man, wasn't it?
No,
Do you remember Rain Man when he sat on the end of the bed going,
That's what you did, and you told everyone in the barbershop.
The belly kisses,
Epping.
though, George was traumatised, and there's no way that he'd be traumatised from just a belly kiss, depending on what you were doing at that point.
Depends how far down
I'm not
your
being
belly
funny, but when you've got
hangs,
3
isn't it?
kids at home, it's like you have to grab it while you can, literally.
Yeah.
Go to drink on a night out.
Porn star martini.
Porn star.
But then you give such sex appeal, like, you know, when you're at the bar and then like there's some like 4'9" receding hairline guy there, and then you're like, I love porn star. He just gets that proper hard over you.
Do you like porn star martini tree?
I've never had the tree.
Have you not?
Isn't that little slug and lettuce number?
Yeah, it is.
I've never had the honour.
I feel like you'd be all over that.
I know, but then the problem with me is I'll get too down
Should
with
be
it.
hanging off it.
Yeah. I'll start calling I get drunk and I call every single person in my contact list. I'm like, do you want to know fucking something?
Are you one of those? I have a friend like that. We all have a friend like that. I do love them. Sometimes I do see it pop up and I think, not tonight.
No, but then I'll keep calling. And then I'll text you going, oh my God, like my nan's died. And then you answer it. And I'm like, do you know about this boy I shagged?
Right, how many people do you think have blocked your number?
Oh, I don't know. But then what I do, this is my thing. I'll go and find someone else at the bar and I'll ring them off their phone.
My God. I feel like we need a group night out pending. And so yours is strawberry dac on a night out?
Orange gin.
Orange gin?
Love a gin.
That's a bit posh.
Can't have vodka because I'll get violent.
Do you?
But gin makes me sad, so I'd rather be sad than violent.
Have you ever been in a fight?
No.
Okay, scenario. I love hitting people with scenarios, right? You're
Hitting people.
No, with scenarios, right? So
I just love hitting people.
So you're at your fish and chip shop, yeah? And then someone tries to steal a mini haddock and chips out your hands. What are you doing? You getting violent? You pulling it back? You letting them take it?
Getting violent.
You getting violent? She will protect her haddock and chips at
I'll
all
be
costs.
throwing ants.
If your life was a movie, what would the title be? I thought this would be a good one.
One Night in Belfast.
One Night in Belfast?
You know, like One Night in Paris?
No. No.
You don't get the reference?
No.
Google it.
Okay, yeah, I'm
Not
like
on a work
partially
phone.
lobotomized.
Don't Google it on a work phone.
Okay. Oh. Okay.
So what
Is it porno? Ah.
How do you not know about One Night in Paris?
I don't. Kane, do we know about that? No.
Right, think about it. One night in Paris.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, I do know.
Right.
Oh. Hilton. Oh. Next question.
Do you want to play me when it gets made into a movie? One Night in Belfast.
Would you like? Who would play it?
I'm happy for you. I mean, we're basically dressed the same today,
Okay,
so you're
fine.
halfway there.
I'll play the role. What's the weirdest fashion trend you would bring back?
Do you know the disc belts?
Yes.
You remember? Do you actually remember?
No, I do. I do know this
Joe,
one.
how old are you?
27.
27. Okay, fine. I
I'm
just like
just
to
there.
check where you are,
Yeah.
you know, so with my references, I don't sound completely ancient when I say these things. So you know the disc belts? It was literally like a whole bunch of belts. I think like Kesha wore it, Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah, very gladiator-esque, weren't they?
And do you remember the sandals, the gladiator sandals
Yes,
as well?
yeah.
I love that whole. Actually, let's just bring back the random as fuck gladiator fashion that everyone was talking about it, because then men started wearing those gladiator.
Did they?
Did you ever have the gladiator
I
sandals?
didn't. Did you?
No, hell no. But I would not. If I was
think-
going to like a wee summer wedding, I would consider it.
Should we bring it back for 2025? Gladiators in. Joe and Dean. Just told you so. What's my biggest fear?
Birds.
Yeah.
Birds is just a massive one.
Yeah.
Aren't you scared of old people?
I am.
Yeah, no, this is so weird.
I have a fear of old people.
Joe's walking down the street and he sees old people, he will look down or cross
I'm
the road.
polite. I'm
Or if
polite.
he sees a bird, he'll literally shit himself.
And if I see an old person riding a bird, like an ostrich or
It's
emu,
game over.
fucking send me to the priory.
It's game over.
Right. That's great.
Oh, we loved that one.
Danny's boxing. Is he going to continue doing it? And if he does, will you have a bit of a Molly May kind of like moment? Because you know when Tommy was fighting and she was like, I can't watch this, think of Bambi. Like, have you thought about that if he carries on
I don't know
throwing them punches?
what's going on with his fighting, but if he fights, I definitely will be able to watch. Like, I'm
You'll be
definitely
fine
not
watching.
someone that's like, I can't watch. Like,
Okay.
I'll be like in the ring. I'll be in the corner.
You'll be in
like-
the ring?
No, I'll be in the ring. I'll be in the corner. Like, don't let us down. Like,
We've got kids to feed.
yeah, this isn't
you
just
turned down the
this isn't just
announcement.
for you. Like, this is for us.
And what do you think of the like criticism that you face, mainly from like younger people online, that your whole relationship has been like fake from Locked In? Because I still see like TikTok slide things where it's like, oh, like this is a fake relationship, and I'm like, well, it's pretty far in if it is.
I still see now. She can't have just had a baby to prove how that it was to keep this going. She's had a baby to keep this fake relationship going. Like, yeah, because kids are just a joke. Like,
you know what I mean?
Just have a kid for a joke. Honestly, when people think it's fake, at first I just didn't really. I just thought, oh, whatever.
Yeah.
But now I'm at the point where I'm like, you're gonna never. If it's like men that comment like, oh, she's with you for this or blah blah blah. I just think you're never gonna get a bad bitch if this is your mindset. And I feel sorry for them, because if you think I only want him for this, and you think I actually, because I go on your profiles and you guys are 1 out of 10s, you're never going to get a bad bitch, because you have the mindset that she's going to want you for not you.
Yeah.
And you've got to believe that actually it doesn't matter anything, which first of all, Danny's a handsome man. But if it doesn't matter about all of that, like, you should believe within yourself that someone wants you for you. So when I see these comments, I'm like, that's why you're going to live a really sad life.
A bad bitch.
Yeah, and if you get a little bit of like change in your pocket, you're going to think any girl wants you for that, and it's just really not the case.
You just ate their asses up. Clip that first out the door. You know what I mean? Show 'em who's boss. One thing that was a crazy moment from this series, which I loved, was when you were relaying the messages from home for Ali, and you told Ali, wait, I've actually got the quote here. Is it Vivian?
Vivian.
Tell her Vivian loves her unconditionally was changed to she loves Lily and Shegs unconditionally.
The thing is, I was so proud that I delivered that message, and I genuinely thought I got it right.
Listening to it back,
We watched it together last night.
I can understand slightly, if you were excited, how it might have been changed at the start.
Yeah.
But the Shegan thing, I was like...
No, I think it's the tell Vivian she, and I think I mixed she with Shegs, and then I just added Lily on the end because it just sounded right.
I don't know if they edited in how many times I asked her, like, Lily, are you sure?
Oh, yeah.
Because even if my family loved Shegan, which I'm sure they do, I don't feel that they would have used moments of
That
a 30-second phone
Like,
call
I we thought it was like, I read this conspiracy theory that it's like a message that like Shagan's a good person and like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like,
Oh,
we had a
what,
bit
the
of an
fan
argument.
theories?
Yeah, because we
Yeah.
put, and like we thought it was like a message, like, no, he's actually a good person.
Don't worry about the red witch thing. It was just a
Yeah.
joke. So we were like, okay, maybe
Maybe they're sending a message.
Did you think afterwards, were you still uncertain? Did you just move on from that situation like, I don't think that actually happened?
I didn't think that it had happened, and I was quite suspicious that the message was wrong. But then I was like, you know what? Like, who cares?
Yeah,
And actually,
exactly.
it was quite nice because then Shagan was really happy. Like,
It lifted spirits, you know?
we bonded over that, even though it was false information.
Yeah.
So
I
it's
thought it might have been
it meant-
Sarah though.
It mended relationships anyway, even if it was wrong.
Yeah, because then I was like, oh no, Shagan's like really not.
Yeah.
Really, I'm seeing.
It just really made me giggle that everyone online was like, why did Lily do that? Like, and I was like, she obviously just misheard. And could you drink in there?
Right, it was a Marchalito.
Could we drink in there?
They gave us so much
Because it was giving that I've done that pissed and excited before. And the message always changes, you know?
And that night we had a Marchalito. So Marcello got quite drunk the night before. I was like, how'd you get that drunk? Like, how did you do it? And he was like, you've got to put the rosé, a gin and tonic can, and then a dash of paprika and turmeric. But I put like loads of it in. And I literally had one glass and like.
So the mixer was rosé with the alcohol, like
Gin
she
and
was
tonic
mixing
can.
wine with gin and tonic.
Then
One
but
glass.
it's the paprika and turmeric.
So
Yeah, that's what it was.
we had this thing at school.
paprika, not
We
the
called
gin.
it like a psycho cocktail. And me and my friends, if we wanted to get like wild at sixth form, we'd mix our vodka with rosé, like really cheap rosé. And yeah, it's like.
We used to do that with pink Lambrini when I was young.
Did you?
really
Love a
bad.
Lambrini.
Do you like my nan drinks Lambrini?
Thanks, Lily.
Oh my God. So you've watched it back,
Yeah.
which is a good thing.
Yeah.
So are there a lot of moments that surprised you, things that weren't aired? Because obviously we get an hour snippet of the day.
Yeah.
And there's probably so much going on. So what did you think of the edit, like watching it back?
I think, do you know what? I do think they did a good job. But there were like quite a lot of things that weren't shown. But that's to be expected. 'Cause
Yeah, of
like
course.
you say, they can't show every single thing in a 24-hour period. But certain little things that weren't shown, I think, changed the narrative of things
Right,
as to
okay.
how they actually happened.
Right.
Like, I got quite a lot of, I wouldn't say hate, that's a strong word, but quite a lot of people were like commenting, why is Emma shit stirring with Hannah and Shagan?
Right.
Like, why is she
Oh,
always
towards
sticking
the end.
towards
yeah,
the end?
yeah.
So
I
what-
was on your side with all of that, by the way.
Yeah, like-
because you weren't doing anything wrong. You were just reporting back of what you'd seen. Which,
But the
yeah.
thing is, I wouldn't have done that off my own bat.
Hmm.
So me and Hannah got called into the diary room. And Big Brother's like, today you two are going to be beauty therapists.
Okay, yeah.
So we're like, oh, I thought we'd have like a little costume. But we didn't.
Thought we'd have a costume, but
yeah,
we
I
didn't.
thought, let's have a little costume. There was no costume. I now think that's because they wanted it to look more like we were just doing it rather than being told to do it.
Okay, fine.
So
for the clips.
I was told to, we were supposed to sort of have deep chats with people and find out what's what. I was told I had to do Marcello and Shagan, and Hannah was Nathan and Ali, I think.
Okay.
So before we went in to do like the treatments on them, Big Brother gave us laminated cards with actual questions that we had to ask. So the questions for me to Shagan was like, what do you think the homegirls meant by their message?
Oh,
How
it's
do
giving
you-
podcast,
I
isn't
know.
it?
How do you feel about Hannah? How do you think Hannah feels about you? Would you go there if you could? So
I did think your line of questioning was very like a journalist in there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So they wouldn't have been my questions. I'd have just been like, what do you use on your skin? It's very silky. So I had to like ask him all those questions. And then afterwards, we got shouted back to the diary room again. And Big Brother's like, right, you need to go up to the mezzanine now and debrief and tell each other exactly what you found. So to the viewing public, it looked like I was just going in there like to Shagan. So do you want a lipser or what? Or, and then going back to Hannah and going, well, he said blah, blah.
Yeah.
But we were told to do that. So
But I don't think from my perspective, that came across very bad for you. You know what I mean?
I don't think it was. I didn't kill anyone.
I think it backfired more on Shegan, to be honest with you, in that moment. And obviously, then it was really frosty, wasn't it? After the final, and I would not have wanted to been in those stands with Shegan and
I felt
Hannah.
a bit sorry for Shegan.
I felt
Hannah.
like there was a lot of moments where I thought, I probably wouldn't have done this on live TV. Do you know what I mean? He looked a bit like a deer in headlights, and I felt bad for him. Yeah. Talk me through a typical day at both of your jobs. So, Miss Diva, I'll start with you.
It's chaos now.
I was going to say, so what's a day at your job like since you have become
People
a
don't
national
even
sweetheart?
come in for food anymore. They just ask for pictures.
Really?
And I've got my own cardboard cut out now, so I'm not just take a picture of that. I'm busy.
You really are Miss Diva. You are Miss Diva.
Like these little kids coming into the shop after school,
Really?
like recording me and take a picture of that. I was like, I'm having a picture of you.
You should have a little card reader and just be like, look.
Oh my God, I went out for my birthday. There was queues of people like, in the club trying to take a picture of me. I take a picture of all the girls. Boys come up to me. Bank transfer, please, for a picture.
Obsessed with that. So Miss Diva makes money. That's what I love to hear.
How much did you charge?
I was like $5 per picture. I was like, oh, you can buy me a drink.
A drink's a good exchange, isn't it?
I didn't buy a drink that night.
So you're getting a lot of people come in now, not even fish and chips, just
like just coming after me.
Yeah.
Is there anyone any fitties?
No.
And are you with someone, Danny?
I've got a serious situationship.
Serious situationship.
We're going on holiday tomorrow at 4 a.m.
Are you?
He is a little cheater, but I'm not. Okay, imagine. Oh my God, sorry if I'm waffling too much. Just fucking tell me. Imagine the fucking horror. I'm in his bed. Find this gold hoop earring that does not belong to me.
Oh, that's a rookie error as well.
Like,
Just leave a hoop in there.
literally. And then he's got this stupid little fucking Apple Watch, and it's like all these girls messaging him like, "You're still taking me home today." And it's a J name. I'm sorry. I don't mean to drag it down with it. Kane, run!
It's all gone downhill. Sorry. Continue.
No, but we met on Hinge like 2 months ago on our first date. I was like a bit scared of Hinge. I'd never done it before. And then this like 6'2" guy in a suit comes off. And then we like start drinking. I haven't had any dinner. End of the day, I violently throw up all over him in all bar 1 in Liverpool Street. I'm like get kicked out of the bar by security because I've projectile vomited all over this man. I was like...
Is this a date? First date?
First date. First time I've ever met this man in my entire life. He then gets on the train back to mine. I went, oh my God, my dad is going to murder you if you enter my house. I end up, oh my God, he ends up going home. I text him the next day. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I understand if you're never going to talk to me again. He's like, I had a great time. I went,
well, that's a keeper.
I went, Cinderella.
And now you're going on holiday.
Now we're going to, he only paid for it.
Come on.
That's what we're talking about.
Come on. Do you know what I'm loving? The questions are so funny because it's like Danny being like, and then I'm like, so talk to me about fish and chips.
So on the same page.
But I'm absolutely living for every second of it. But to be honest, right there,
Season 11 is cursed.
I understand, especially from what you guys have said, because you weren't really in like massively solid couples. You both on the show were like, we're going to leave and see how it works on the outside.
Yeah.
But there were a lot of couples in the series that were like from the start and very solid. And like some of them have really surprised me. Like Kieran and Nicole really shocked me.
Yeah,
I reacted like Tommy and Molly May.
Yeah.
I was in biz. Have any of them surprised you with like the breakups and stuff?
Kieran and Nicole definitely surprised me. I think that's the only shocker.
Yeah. I think a few of the others like fizzled out and stuff. I mean, I did think that Joey and Jessie would still be together. And that's really rogue of me to say. Look at your face. Look at your face. I did think that they were going to go further. I really did. You guys
I thought you were bantering me.
No, I'm being serious.
Be fucking
I thought, hear me out. I thought you're in so deep. You've defended everything in that. I thought surely you've just got to leave and that's it now.
She did the same thing.
You really doubled down in there. Has Ronnie messaged you since you split up with Sean and gone, haha, I was right?
Yeah. He has. He's definitely been muggy
Ronnie
about it
don't
when I've
need
seen
it.
it.
I can imagine he's been well mugged about it.
Everyone in the comments does it for him, don't they?
Everyone and their
Did
nan
I?
comments.
That was never her time.
Yeah.
We get it.
I get it. Guys, come on.
We've all got to try something new in life. I think if you're on a show, it's so unnatural to what you'd ever do. I think it's good to dip your toe into something that you might not
100%.
normally go for.
And also, it's like I'm definitely a personality kind of girl.
Yeah.
So like, I wouldn't say that I have a type.
And
But
you
I know
did
that
laugh a lot.
We laughed.
You were
a
never
lot.
miserable. It was never like that.
I was cracking up.
Yeah.
But it just didn't work out. But people do love to comment that.
And Jess with Io was mainly just you trying to figure out what you actually wanted to say to you. It was mainly you being like, what does this mean? Are we okay?
Have you seen
and
that
he'd be
meme
like,
of the girl doing the math and she's like,
that was you the entire time in there. So you mentioned before about you finding out that you were going on the show in September.
Yes.
Was it quite a quick process? Like, how did that come about?
I literally was on holiday in Ibiza.
Oh, gorgeous.
And when I came back from my holiday, I just had this feeling. My best mate had said to me, when's Freddie coming home to Manchester? Because he was staying at my mum's in Belfast. And I just got this feeling. I says, I don't know, but there's something telling me that Freddie's not coming home for a while. And she was like, why? I says, I don't know. I just have this feeling that he's going to stay at my mum's for a bit. I've got a feeling that I'm going to get asked to do the jungle.
Right, okay.
But there had been no mention of it prior. I met ITV years ago about the jungle, 2 years ago. And I know the team and we've worked together on other things, Love Island and podcasts and stuff like that. But it wasn't even a thing, right? Then my agent called me. I got back on the Sunday and my agent called me on the Monday and said, you've got a meeting at ITV on Thursday about the jungle. And I went,
Oh my God, not
oh my
the
God.
premonition.
And I wasn't even shocked.
Yeah.
I was obviously shocked that they wanted to see me for the jungle, but I wasn't shocked that that was going to happen because
it was like
I
something
could
had
almost
fallen
feel it.
into
I was like,
place.
this is so weird.
Yeah.
It was like I dreamt that this was going to happen when I was in Ibiza. So we met on the Thursday at ITV, went in, we didn't talk about the jungle. We just sat and gossiped for like over an hour and just had the crack. And then the wait began. The wait.
How long was the wait?
6 long weeks.
Was it?
6 long weeks.
Yeah.
And like
I really put you through it, didn't they?
They really did. And I was trying not to do that really annoying thing where I call my agent every day, like, so have they called yet?
Was it hard to plan things in advance, like potentially knowing? Was it like obviously run up to Christmas, parties, all that? And you kind of just sat there like...
No, because I in my heart, I was like, I would love to do this. It would be amazing. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm not the type of person that's like chasing it. And if it doesn't happen, my life's going to end. Yeah. But equally, I was like, I would really love that experience. And the more time went on, the more I thought, God, that I can really see that happening when you're like manifesting it every single day and whatever. But then I thought, why would they want me now? Like, then I started to doubt myself and I'm like, you know,
None of that, Miss Diva. None of that.
But honestly, I did. My inner saboteur kicked in. Where I was like, oh God, no, maybe now is just not my time and whatever. And I was just cracking on with my job, like on the radio and whatever. And then I was boarding a flight to Belfast. I was in the queue at Luton Airport.
No way.
Shout out Luton Airport.
It's actually my least favourite airport.
I love Luton.
Shut up.
So underrated. That's where all the private jets are.
I've actually flown on a private jet from Luton before.
I'm gonna just pick that up there if you want. Well, I was flying
but
with EasyJet.
But it is my least favourite airport.
I was flying with EasyJet from Luton to Belfast. And my agent was like, where are you? And it was Friday afternoon. It was about 5 o'clock.
Oh, best time to get a call.
And I was about to like step on the plane and he was like, you're going to be going on another plane in 4 weeks to go to Australia. And I couldn't scream. I couldn't talk to anybody. I couldn't react. Couldn't do nothing. What did I do?
React.
I had to sit on a plane for an hour and 10 minutes with my phone in airplane mode like that.
At least you got to process it.
I'm going to Australia. I couldn't believe it. And then what was really beautiful actually was that because I was flying home to see my mum and my mum was picking me up in Belfast and I had said to her, Mummy, I've had a meeting about the jungle, and she was like, oh my God, you're going to get it. She'd lit candles. She'd been saying prayers. We're not even in a religious family, but she'd lit all the candles. My house was like Joe Malone.
Was it?
She was just fucking candles everywhere. She was saying Hail Mary. She was praying to Allah, like any God she could get her hand on. She was praying to him.
Obsessed with her.
She really wanted me to do it because she knew that, you know, how much it would mean to me and whatever. And then when she picked me up, I get in the car and she was like, well, son, I should have my wee dog with her. And before we set off to get on the motorway to drive home to her house, I turned around and I went, Mum, I'm going in the jungle. And she went, because she had both the windows down.
Oh, okay.
And we just sat and she just kept slapping me in the lap. Oh my God. And I was like, oh my God, oh my God. And we just had the best weekend together, me and her.
Yeah.
Where like we would just be sat watching like Gogglebox or the shit we watch. and we would just look at each other and we would just burst out laughing. So the fact that I got to have that moment with her and it wasn't on a phone call, it was like our time. It was really special. So we really went on the jungle journey together.
That's really sweet. I've got a bit of a game to end off on, right?
Go on then.
So it's hot or not. So you say whether you like it or you don't. For some topics that I'm just going to reel out, and then you both tell me whether they're hot or not. So the first one is Charlie XCX's Brat album. So that was Brat Summer. Do you think that's hot or not?
Oh no, I haven't got a clue what you're talking about. So I'll say not. Let's just say not.
Should we just have a drink?
I think we did it. I think we did a TikTok. Did we do a TikTok to that?
Yeah, I think we did. Not the whole album, but a song.
I've got
Yeah.
no
I'm going to
idea.
say not because I don't even know what it is.
Okay. Next one, Ozempic. Hot or not?
Yes. Hot.
Hot.
Yes.
Hot. Hot. Manjaro.
I just feel like as a menopausal woman that, as you know, me stopping drinking, no carbs, no takeaways, walking and no eating after 6 worked for me. However, I feel like going through the menopause that the doctor should give it to women of our age because you wake up one day and go, where the fuck did this come from? You just don't
You can't get rid of it
No,
either.
and that's the thing. And you've got no motivation to do anything. And they're giving it to people who are much larger through whatever. Yeah, but they ask people at whatever, however state they've got themselves in. I think they should give it to menopausal women.
It is honestly, since becoming 50,
Oh, tell me about
if
it.
I put on a little bit of weight, which I do, you're only little, aren't you? How tall are you?
5'4" and a half.
I'm 5'1.5". Look at her towering over me, lording it over me. But if you put on a few pounds when you're dinky, it shows. Well, not even that many years ago, I could literally go asleep and wake up half a stone lighter. Now it's not shifting. It won't go.
So
yeah, a bit
we're
of
all for
Ozempic.
it. We're all for it.
I just feel like as long as it's done in a safe environment and you're getting it from somebody proper, then
Yeah.
I think
And
then
it's
if you're
prescribed,
and
it's
as well
not
if
bought
it's
off
going to
the
make
internet.
you happy and it's going to because I know a lot of people that are on it and at the end of the day mentally if it's going to make you feel better then it's nothing to do with anybody else and you go and do it.
Okay.
I just think just know when to stop.
Yeah.
Knowing when to stop.
Because look at Sharon Osbourne.
Oh,
That's apparently
God.
Ozempic.
It is.
That lady's
And she
weight.
took
I
so
love
much
her.
apparently that she then couldn't get her appetite back
she
after
can't
coming
get
off
Yeah.
it.
So I think, there's always that
But there's so
degree
many,
of.
don't you think so many American stars now when you look at them and I'm like, oh my God.
I know.
And I'm not saying they're on it, but it's just like
Changing a lot of people's face shapes as well for
Yeah.
the weight
It
loss.
does because it's like it's when you lose it that quickly. You know, I mean, it took me 4 months to lose 1.5 stone
Yeah.
because I completely stopped drinking wine,
Yeah.
and that was my biggest thing, weren't it, Jo? I mean, come on, I was.
Yeah.
That's what people
awful.
forget about as well when they're doing the Ozempic. They're like, I've literally had like 3 less leaves in 2 days and I'm still not losing weight, but you've had 3 bottles of
Yeah,
wine.
it was the alcohol
Yeah.
for me.
You know what I
Yes,
mean?
Karen.
It was
Just
the
stop it.
alcohol, and that's why I just stopped because I just thought I can't.
Yeah.